Hi, and good evening. Oh my goodness, it's so good to be here. And let me jump on over to Instagram and bring these folks in too. There we go. And so, fantastic. So this evening I have for you a heartwarming card that'll make you go, oh, with the Tender-Hearted stamp set. And this is one like, oh, it really does. It just can't help but say that. It makes you go, oh. And so I'm going to show you how to make this evening. And so we'll wait a second or two for some more to come over. Well, we'll just go ahead because some of you are here already, and welcome. And I'm Shelley Godby, and for you know what? How about I bring it back on myself? There we go. Hi, good evening, and Miss Kate is here. And so what you were just seeing the Tender-Hearted stamp set, it does. Aww. And just adorable. So I'll bring you right back on that in a minute. And we got Miss Patricia here, Miss Adelaide. Oh, fantastic. So let me introduce myself. For anyone who may be new, I'm Shelley Godby, and for 23 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand-stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. And so I'm real excited to show you this. And actually, I'm not taking credit for this card. It was a sample in the catalog. I thought, oh, I've got to make it. I ended up making some changes, but one on purpose, one not on purpose. Oh, Miss Danette is here. Well, hello. All right, this is so much fun. So, oh, and Miss Crystal, fantastic. Oh, Arkansas. I think this may be, well, maybe your first time commenting. I don't remember that you being here before, because what a pretty name. All right, so here we go. There's the Tender-Hearted stamp set with these little children that, oh my gracious, on the swing and hugging and taking care of her teddy bear, and just these really good friends. Okay, so oh, and Miss Marcia's here too. And so let me, before I jump in, please like, share, and comment on my video. All of that helps out. And if you're not a subscriber yet, perhaps Miss Crystal isn't yet, please be sure to subscribe to my channel too. That will be so good. All right, so, you know, let's just start with cutting our cardstock in half. Here we go. And so I've got my paper trimmer, and, I would show this every once in a while, but this may become a staple because I'm finding out more and more of my stampers need to know this, how to use it. So this is the paper trimmer, and look at this. You can pull out this arm, and this goes out to even beyond 17 inches. So your 12 by 12 cardstock, no problem. And this track is longer than 12 by 12. So the blades can either go all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom and not have to remove your 12 by 12 cardstock. Once upon a time, that wasn't true. All right, so what I have here is basic white thick cardstock because this will be my card base. And it's the same finish as the basic white, but it's just heavier. And it's also good, we're going to be using the Stampin' Blends. It'll be good for that too. And so this is 8.5 by 11. I want one that opens, it's a portrait card that opens from the bottom, so that means I need to cut this in half. So half of 8.5 is 4.25. Pick that up. We have the 4, the 5, halfway in between. That longest line is the halfway mark, and then halfway between those two, that second longest line is the quarter. I'm going to place it right on the line, and the line runs all the way down, so I can look and make sure that it's squared off. And something else that really helps, I always butt it up against, there's a lip here, always butt it up against that, and so then it's good and squared off, and you can look to make sure you didn't do something odd like that, right? And come down here, and so those two blades, the dark, that I'll show you in just a minute because I pushed it all the way to the bottom, the dark, this is darker, is the cutting, and it just cuts right through. Oh, Miss Marge, hi. All right, and so this gives me 2 card bases. I only need one for this evening, and so then this lighter blade, well, that's the scoring blade. So now I want to score this in half, and what that means is I'm going to put a crease in it, and that crease is going to make it very easy to, I mean, it's going to be, well, it'll fold easily without getting all crinkly. If you've ever just folded cardstock in half, and so we know the halfway, that longest line is halfway in between. So this is 11, so I need it 5.5. And your paper trimmer, highly recommend for all of your cutting, because trying to, you know, unless you're what they call fussy cutting with the paper snips, and I go over that several times because I don't have a lot of natural pressure, and I don't know if you can see that there, that crease. And so now look at that, that just folds beautifully. For all of your, use it for all of your layers so you can measure, because eyeballing often isn't, you know, it's not accurate, and if it's not even, it isn't attractive. So what I have here is a bone folder. If you don't have one of these yet, you'll want to pick that up. And all the supplies I'm using are listed below the video and available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. So you know what? I'm pushing that over, and I do that. I make sure everything is lined up, and then I will, I don't know why it was off a little bit, but it was, but not anymore, because neatness truly, truly counts. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of die cutting, and what I have here are the Stylish Shapes dies. Boy, are these popular. So, you know, and so we got a couple labels, squares, and circles, but they have stitching around them, so it almost makes them look layered. And I store mine on these magnet cards that I get from Stampin Storage. There's a link under the video. It's a different company from Stampin' Up, but they have supplies to get your crafting supplies organized like nobody's business. And wow, your craft room, you can make it look stunning. So there's a link under there. Oh, Miss Roxanne was able to make it live. And then I go ahead and store it in one of these storage pockets. And then I put it in, you know, and can just flip right through. There's a place for a label, and just loving this whole system. It's working beautifully. Now, follow my links, because you want storage pockets, not sleeves. All right, so what I need is my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I've got that right here. And I realize I have a whole lot of stuff a little bit in my way. This was one of those that I was up to the last second going, uh-oh, it's time to go live. All right. I got my Stampin' blends here. There we go. Fantastic. And then I need to make what's called a sandwich, and I could use plate number 1 and 2 that comes with it, but instead I'm going to use my Sizzix magnetic platform. Now this is something that I picked up on Amazon, and there's a link under the video to it. I just love it. It's not making me a perfect die cutter, but it's making me a better die cutter, because the magnets that are placed evenly, pretty close together, hold my cardstock in place. But regardless if I use plate number 1 and 2 that come with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or the magnetic platform, which is the thickness of those two, I still need a plate number 3 because I'm die cutting. And I have here some more basic white thick cardstock, because I'll be coloring with the Stampin' blends, and that is recommended. And so this circle, it's the second, did I show you that? I don't know if you saw that. It was the second largest circle. And see, and that's just, I could hear it clunk on there because it was clinging to a magnet. Then I need another plate number 3. We'll go ahead and crank this through, and that's it for our die cutting. This card, seriously, Heartwarming just sums it up, but just so sweet and simple. And there we go. And so, can you see that stitching around there? Maybe when I get the machine out of the way. There's stitching around there, which, wow, really dresses it up. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Fantastic. And we're done with our dies. And so I just love how strong they are. Look at that. They are not coming off, and I was using all my strength, which is great. I don't need to be concerned about losing one, because you certainly don't want to be doing that. All right. So I've got a bunch of little things to do with this card. Now that I have that off, can you see the stitching? Oh, I think maybe if I hold it like this, you can see that stitching. It's like it adds a layer without adding a layer. And so I have here, I'm going to use the one with the teddy bear. Oh, and I'm using the blends. I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. You need that when using Stampin' Blends. Sometimes I'm a rebel and I'm thinking, oh, I really am a rule follower, and other times, like, no, let me see, and I tried something else. It just ate the lines up. Like, okay, we're going to believe it. Okay, I'm just talking, inking. I don't really need to do that. But it was easier for me to stamp afterwards because this is a photopolymer, a clear stamp set. So I can see exactly where I'm stamping. And it's just quicker for me to just die cut. You know, to just die cut the circle without needing to center it around anything. So I'm just pressing everywhere. And I can hardly stand it. You know what? I bring this out and then I forget to show you because not everyone knows about how to clean their photopolymer stamps. And what I have here stored in a clear mount case is a Simply Chamois that when you get it, it's this lovely light purple that, you know, even that stained, but quickly it just grabs the ink off of your photopolymer stamps. And now this is nice and clean and ready to go back into my box or to be used again with another color. So, you know, you don't need to clean it until you're done with the same color. When you're done, okay, as long as you're using the same color, you don't need to clean. But now I am done, and I'll put it back in the case, or make sure you clean in between colors. Oh, this is so adorable. Okay, let's go on to, we'll set that aside for a second. I have here some basic white cardstock. Oh, that's going to be really easy for you to see. Well, you can see it, even on my black silicone mat. And I love working off of this. And we're going to emboss the greeting of, I'm here for you, on the basic black. And embossing, this is, oh, I'm trying to think of the right word. The other is, well, they're both physically. Can't think of the right word right now. It's just escaping me. Anyway, I'm going to emboss with powder instead of you know, the embossing folders that actually put the pattern right in there. All right, so this I have is my Embossing Additions Toolkit, and it comes with this tray that I'll show you how to use. Very important, the embossing buddy, and okay, and the oh, what is wrong with my mind? I was rushing around too much. I know what these are. Tweezers. That don't get hot because the tip is plastic. I'm okay, really I am. You wouldn't believe how often I have to say that to myself, just trying to convince myself. So I'm going to emboss, and I'm going to use the Versamark pad. And this is a pigment ink, so it stays wet for a good long time, so I don't have to rush. So hopefully, and I didn't get another one done ahead of time in case I mess up, hopefully I do a good job. You know what, I really would like something behind me so I can see better against that black. And hopefully I center it on there, because like I said, I don't have another one ready to go. So let's see how I do. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so there's that edge. Okay. When I made my sample, it worked really well, and so I guess I didn't even think about it. Yeah. All right. I can see that it's closer to the top than I like. So I have another side. You know what? I don't think I used the embossing buddy. The embossing buddy, we run this over it. That's why I messed up. Because the embossing powder will stick to what's wet. I just did lotion before the video, so it would stick to the lotion as well. We don't want that. Let me come back with, so I can just really see what I'm doing, because there was still black. There we go. And I really just only want to stick to my Versamark ink. And this eliminates Oh my goodness, so much, 99% of it, if not all of it. You know, I've been with Stampin' Up! For 23 years, and they developed this, and they kept winning awards year after year after year with a scrapbooking magazine. Okay, let's get that straight. And this is looking a lot better than that first one. Yes, much better. Very, very happy. Okay. It really helps when you can see what you're doing. The black on the black, not so well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to this with the tweezers, because then my fingers won't be getting hot. And then let's bring the tray over, because this will catch the powder, and then I just brush it right back in. And what I have here is the Wow Basics embossing powders. And this is the opaque bright white. And we're carrying all of this now. So this is all listed under the video. And again, available to order in my online store. So I tap off the excess, and isn't that cool? It just, there was a little bit there. That's why I said about 99%. Before this, you would take the tiniest little paintbrush and try to get off all of the extra little pieces. And then you would hit your greeting or whatever it was, and you have to put it on again and start all over. What a godsend this is. And the only way to get it is with the Embossing Editions Toolkit. All right. So now, even though that looks really cool, well, you know, that would just brush right off. I need to melt it, and then it gets even better. Oh, we got Miss Regina here. I believe she's another new one, or the first time to comment, and welcome. All right, so I have here the heat tool. Fantastic tool. A hair dryer won't work because, one, it won't get hot enough. Do not use this on your hair. And it would blow the powder off because it blows harder. And there are two settings. The first one is, say you want to dry some ink so you can keep moving along. And the second one, well, that's where it gets that we emboss. And so you just hold it on, and I'm going to hold it till I see it start to melt. And look at that. As it's melting, it gets more opaque and stands out even better. So here's the U and a little bit of the 4 compared to the I'm here. This technique is why I'm a stamper. This just went, so cool. And there we go. And once you see it melted, you're done. And look and see if that O. All right, and so what I do is I turn it in the light, and if I see anything powdery, I can go back and melt it. I've even caught some the next day. All right. To me, that O looks a little powdery. There we go. It's just, okay. It got to be more opaque. Fantastic. And this is wonderful. If you ever have, toasted your little fingers, this is metal, so that's good and sturdy, but this is plastic, so it doesn't conduct the heat up. Okay, and then, look at that. I mean, that's how fast, it just cools off. I didn't have to be concerned about smearing it. I've got my paper snips, and following the sample in the book, I'm going to just make an angle cut. There we go. So, we've got that. All right, Miss Regina had a question. Let me look. What's the difference between the past embossing powders and the Wow? To me, it's working. I mean, ours worked really well. I think we couldn't get it from the manufacturer anymore, and so we went to the Wow, and it's doing a beautiful, beautiful job. So let's go ahead and color. Now, the sample in the catalog, if you go and look it up, they watercolored, so it's even softer. Okay, but I just am crazy about the Stampin' blends, and so that's what we're going to do today. Okay, let's start with the Granny Apple Green, and I have the bullet tip, and like I said, I'm following their colors, and it made sense to me. The stethoscope was just all green, and I thought, well, this is a child's stethoscope, and of course it would be colorful, even down to the part where they listen to the heart, right? And this just makes it really super simple to color. There we go. And then we have bubble bath here. I'm going to keep using the bullet end. And so look at all these Band-Aids. Well, the center of the Band-Aid would be white because that's where the gauze would be. And so we'll catch these tips. Here's one. Aww. So she's just really fixing him up. Cute, cute, cute. And then the bear itself is pink. And it's the same. So it's like, okay. Easy enough. I'm going to leave his nose. That's where that bullet tip is really nice. And so, like I said, the one in the catalog is softer. But by the time this all dries, it's adorable as all get out. And so what I have underneath me is the silicone mat. And this is really great for the Stampin' Blends, because without it, you know, if you're stamping on paper, it's going to absorb some of your blends. All right. And so you could leave the ends white. And like I said, since I was casing, do you know what case means? It means copy and, well, we always said steal everything, but Stampin' Up! Is really nice, and they say copy and share everything. And so... And I thought, well, if I'm going to copy, let's make it like they did. Okay, there is... Okay, and then there's the little girl. Okay. And there we go. We'll just do the nose too. Fantastic. Okay, we got those two. And I have here the ivory for some skin tones. It really is nice because it's really pretty harsh to leave, you know, any of the skin, that harsh white. And then we have others as well, just really a lot of shades of flesh tones that I also like to use just for browns, period. All right, we'll color her all in. There we go. And then when we color her hair, that won't look quite as dark either. Okay, so what I have here is pecan pie. Oh yeah, and we have her tie around her hair. So she's coordinated with her little bear. Anybody have a pink teddy bear when they were a kid? I still do. My mom made me one, but I was an adult. I think I was in college, but she was really getting into crafts and started making teddy bears. I didn't think about that. I should have had the teddy bear out. That would have been cute to show you. I mean, he's up in my closet now, but how do you get rid of a teddy bear that your mom made for you? So I will keep him forever and ever. Yeah, and he's a real soft pink, like our bubble bath. All right. So let's go ahead and... Now the brush tip, it does have a fine tip. This is a small image in small areas, so I just prefer the bullet. I feel like I have a little bit more control, and I may not. Her other arm is pink too. Oh yeah, that would help. Thank you. That would help. Yeah, make sure I'm using ivory. Yep. Yes, it is. There we go. Thank you. That looks a lot better. That doesn't look as strange. Cool thing is, right, I knew what you meant, Miss Joan. And I sure appreciate it. So what I have here is the dark, and I didn't get fancy-dancy. I just went ahead and, you know, where her ponytail is pulling, just went over the lines that Stampin' Up! Already gave us to provide a little bit of detail. And as it's drying, you know, some shading. Okay, we are getting there. What we have left is, apparently, And of course you could do your own thing, you know, but I just fell in love with the card, so I just kept it like it is. Pool party. So she's got a little matching outfit like I used to have. The pants and the top are the same color. And you know what? Let me get around this little stuff and then I'll use the brush end. Because it's a bigger, there we go. All right, now I feel comfortable with the brush end. Really good catch. I'm glad I looked up and saw that. I am just crazy. If you haven't tried the Stampin' blends, it just makes coloring a pleasure because the colors are nice and vibrant. You don't see lines like you do with regular markers. And you can blend and shade like no one's business. And, you know, there are people who just can make these sing. I would love to learn. I haven't taken any classes, but I'm just so pleased with the results for someone who's such a novice as I am. All right, so we got that all filled in. So let's go ahead and take the Pool Party Dark. Yeah, they are fantastic for it. Yep. All right, and let's just do a little bit. And under her collar would be a little bit of shading. And then, you know, a lot of times, and that would shade this over here a little bit. And I like to go back. You know, this hasn't dried yet, but and blend it out a little bit with the light again. There you go. We're done. Cute, cute, cute. Cuteness overload, isn't it? Oh my gracious. So our card, this isn't taking very long at all. I mean, we're watercoloring, embossing, all of that. So now the fun of putting it together, well, here's one more element. I have here the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack. So it comes in all these neutrals. And I want a white bow. So we'll see how this, I was going to have it done. I thought, nah, we'll just sit and visit. And then I can talk to you about while I'm making a bow. So tomorrow, Wednesday, come back in the afternoon or late morning, and I'll have when it's done uploading in HD, I will then have a link to my blog post with this card, and it'll have the measurements and a PDF you can download, print, and save with a picture of the card, the measurements, and the card sketch. Oh, and don't let me forget, I have a completely different card made with the same sketch to show you when I'm done. Well, hi, Miss Carla. All right, so that was getting a little twisted. All right, so that to tell you, and bonus days coupons. You know those $5 coupons you ordered for every 50 in July? It's time to spend them. There's less than 2 weeks. You want to go spend that. You use them like cash on your order. And you know what? My online store loves them. All right. Oh, please don't twist on me. There we go. So you really want to spend those bonus days coupons. It'd be like throwing money away if you didn't. And I've got something for you to spend them on too, to make them go even further, is the Designer Series paper sale this month. And I've got a link under the, do I have a link right to those? I've got them on my blog that shows them all. They're in every email. I don't know that I have that, but if you go to the Stampin' Up! Store, it's right there, and you can see it's right there at the beginning that they are on sale. All right, so I just want to trim this. Pretty little bow, huh? So the Designer Series paper sale. Get in on that, and that's only through August 31st. And talking about Designer Series paper, see how one thing just leads into another, and I didn't plan it, but it is. I'm having my paper share for the September through December 2024 Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And so you get a generous portion of every Designer Series paper in there. There's just one exception that wouldn't divide well. a generous portion of all of it so you can just see it yourself. And then if you're like me and just got to have it all, and you can do the and more, and what the and more are all the accessories. And so it's just so much fun to get all of that. So this is, see all these patterns? These are from the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper, which just happens to be on sale this month. And I checked right before coming on the video. It was not in low inventory, so we're in really good shape. So this is another piece of basic white cardstock. And here we go. I've got my Stampin' seal. All right, sometimes I have to help it and get it going. And so this, of course, is this is that, which has a lot of color, but I happened to catch that piece that had a lot of white. Well, that worked out cool. Because, you know, I mean, it's variegated, but in such a small piece, it only caught the white, but that wasn't what I was going for. Okay, so let me get these in the same order that I have on my sample card. And I want to see more of that variation, so I'm going to, this will get hidden. You know, this circle that we just did, that'll get hidden. I'm just going to place it, make sure I'm happy with my placement. Then this one, bit of an ombre thing going on here. There we go. Nope, now green. And whichever side is showing me more variation, I want to the right. Now, what they used in the catalog was not one that was on sale, and I thought, well, surely I can show you something that's on sale, and yep, we sure can. And this is a fun pack of Designer Series paper, the Bright and Beautiful, and there we go. And then, cool. All right, so clearly I did not cut completely even, and yeah, I'm human. So here's what I do. I take my paper snips. Instead of cutting from this side, I always turn it over. I can see what's hanging over, and then look, I've got this to put my scissors up against to trim those two that I didn't quite get. Cool, huh? Paper snips are awesome. So this we'll go ahead and attach this. Let's go ahead so we can get all of our placement. And for this, I'm going to use my favorite adhesive ever, so much so that I think of it as an accessory. My Stampin' Dimensionals, these are foam adhesive dots. And it's amazing how much these can add to our cards, or elements of our cards, by picking them up. Now this is a good size piece, so instead of just one in the center, I'll put one on each side. Fabulous. And if they're not coming up already like that one was, you just take your thumbnail and it makes, it was sticking to me, or clinging. See, it makes that edge pop up and then just super easy to peel off. I learned that at a regional seminar many, many moons ago, and that alone was worth the price of admission. Okay, so let's place this on here. One of my favorite looks is, I just love a lot of white. I think it's just stunning. It's clean and simple is a good one. Good name for it. All right, so now let's take, and 3 felt like enough for this circle. Oh, Miss Kate agrees with me. Yes, ma'am. Wish I had invented them. I'd be a wealthy woman. All right. We're getting them. Okay, come on. Pop up for me. There we go. And you know what? While I'm just sitting here fooling around like this, today, Stampin' Up, you know, close to my heart, we acquired them, and their products have been exclusive to previous Close to My Heart demonstrators and their customers, because and it only makes sense. They had, they were a smaller company, and Stampin' Up! Bought what they had ordered, and left it for those ladies coming over. I mean, they had to start over from scratch, and with limited supplies, there's no point in all of us using them all up on them as they're trying to get a start. Well, today, Tuesday, August 20th, Stampin' Up! Released what's available now to all of us. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. As I'm talking about that, I am going to, here we go, come over here and show you where to find these, just because it's fun and new. So I clicked on the menu and then shop products, and look, close CTMH, Close to My Heart products, which are now all Stampin' Up! Products. So they're primarily a scrapbooking company, so a lot of scrapbooking, but then you start finding really cool stuff. All right, let me show you this. The Secret Garden Scrapbooking Workshop Kit includes the stamps, the dies, sticker sheets, cardstock, designer series paper, and embellishments. Isn't this awesome? All right, and let's go back. And they also have some of these, and this is all available only while supplies last, in card kits too. Also, they have this two-tone 12 by 12 cardstock. And right now, this is in their colors, but they're going to be coming in our colors, and it's two-tone. So it's like you've got the lighter color on one side and the other. So very, very cool. And unlike our cardstock, because it's one color, two different colors, the center is white. Unlike, the Stampin' Up! Cardstock, although this technically is now. And so I wanted you to see, look at this, what they have over here. Okay, there were 3 pages when this started, and we're down to 2, so while supplies last, but more will be coming. Okay, I was showing everyone there was the Secret Garden card making kit, and that is gone. But anyway, that's where you can come over here and find all of that. So let's come back to, there we go, our card. So I have here a little mini glue dot, and because I want to attach my ribbon, well, actually it's baker's twine, put that in the center. Okay, and come over here, and that bad boy needs to untwist for me. There we go. Got it. Okay, fantastic. And this is coming down. And then I'm here for you. It's going to go right over here. So on this side, we are back to the Stampin' Seal, but this has a dimensional behind it. So on the other side, let's add another dimensional. And if that's too wide, let's see, is that too wide? Because I can always, if I turn it, yeah, I think it'll be okay. But you know what? The edges are fantastic anyway. Let's come over here, and I did a class, and somebody says, oh, you throw all that away, all the edge stuff? Like, oh, golly, no, 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 no. I mean, even if I don't need something smaller like that, that's just more of this fabulous. And then I'm here for you. Cute, cute, cute. So, oh, what I forgot to tell you is, so this card, because on my blog post with the 24-25 catalog, I have the resource of all the supplies to make every project in there. And I had this all cut and was liking it until I was that far in when I noticed that, oh, they put it on the basic white note cards and envelopes. Oh, I like the full size. I can see a little bit more of the paper, and this was almost going off the edge if not, and I've got a rule. Everything has to stay, oh, we're not done. Everything has to stay within our palette, right, of the Ford, because it has to fit into an envelope. And then we have the finishing touch. And these are the transparent adhesive back dots. And I've got my take your pick tool. And so we'll come down here and pick that up. And you know what? This was another executive decision, like the Stampin' Blends instead. I didn't use quite as many as they did. You know what? My card's even bigger. Oh, Miss Danette, thank you. It is a precious card, and I wish I could take... Okay, do you see me? I keep pressing on them because I want to make sure the adhesive is on the embellishment and not stuck on the acetate sheet. So these are in 2 different sizes. Oh, so yeah, and this is definitely the finishing touch on here. And that's what they use too, or were these. And there we go. Now we're done. Yes, with our heartwarming card with, oh my goodness, right? Can you help it? Are you going, aw? And so there we go. All right. And would you like to see the other one I made using the same template? So here's our template sketch. I keep thinking template, I guess you call them sketches. With that same sketch, and here we go. This is with the Playful Ghosts. They're an online exclusives product, and so you don't find them pictured in a catalog. They're pictured online only. And see, same sketch, but how cute is that? And I mixed up some solid cardstock with the Brights cardstock. Now the Brights, oh thank you Miss Adelaide. The Brights are not part of the sale, but hey, they're just good to have. You know, so they come in the 10 colors of the Brights. And oh, you know what? But this paper is. This is from the Country Woods Designer Series paper on sale this month. And it was in low inventory, so I would get on over to my online store and grab that up. And there were clouds in there and the bat with the stars. And this I did cut out with my paper snips, you know, so he would stand out. But that was really easy to do, and colored him with my Stampin' Blends. Later this week, I'll have a link to my blog post, and I'll list everything for this card too. And so there we go. Aw, aw, aw. And, you know, in these tails, I'm sure I will trim a little bit more, but they're doing just fine. All right. So I think that was, I shared everything with you that I meant to share with you. And so if I find any more comments, I'll be happy to stick around and answer those. And thank you for, you know, sticking with me as I couldn't even think of stuff. I don't know what was wrong with me, but yeah, you get used to it. I used to tell a friend, like, hey, stick around. When I get old, I'm going to be a hoot. So let me come back. There we go. And be able to, I wish I could see you all too. That would be so cool. But anyway, oh, Miss Regina, thank you. Aw, you all are so sweet. Miss Danette and Miss Regine Ann, okay, and Miss Marcia, well, that came in blank, but something, and Miss Roxanne, well, fantastic. I do too. I just love it too, as well as the Playful Ghosts are adorable. You know, it's not a creepy set. Okay, thank you, Miss Marcia. It's not creepy. I love Halloween. I think it's so much fun, but I like the cute, fun stuff. I don't want to get the dark and, Anyway, so the Playful Ghosts in the online exclusives. All right, so there we go. I guess it's that time of evening. I'm sure glad you joined me this evening. That was a lot of fun. And I hope you're liking. You have to let me know. Put in the comments, are you liking seeing a second card with, the same sketch, and both are cute, but, a different vibe, different colors, different Designer Series paper. All right, and Miss Kate. Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be really cool. Miss Kate's going to make one. And yeah, switch the greeting out would be fantastic. It's so adorable. So this is the time of evening where I say, well, thank you for watching. Okay, I'm reading. Okay, Miss Joan loves the other designs too. Thank you. Oh, all right. Oh, Reggie Ann, is it? Okay, Regina Ann. Ah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Good evening and God bless.